From Mount Morris, Pennsylvania, this is round 4 of the AMA 125-250 National Championship Motocross Series. Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Huffman for Power Sports Video. And the word today is mud. A deluge yesterday virtually buried this track under a sea of mud. But 12,500 die-hard fans braved threatening weather, and a lot of them stood in that mud to watch the action today for this 14th annual Racer Productions promoted motocross. And the promoters brought out the heavy equipment to try to make this track work. It is round 4 of both the 125 and 250 series. Let's look at the standings after 3 rounds. Jeff Stanton with 130 points in the 250 class leading. Jeff Ward in the Kawasaki, 112 points, and Mike LaRocco right behind Ward. Looking now at that very hotly contested 125 championship, Jean-Michel Bale, 141 points. He's from France. Guy Cooper, 130 points, 11 points back, and Mike Kiedrowski right behind him in 3rd. 2 of the favorites today, one of the young lions and one of the old veterans, the Chicken Man, Jeff Matasevich, and Jeff Ward talked about the track and how to ride today.
Basically, it's survival of the fittest out there, basically. It's really muddy, and it's really easy to fall. I just fell, and they're putting on new handlebars right now. It's sort of better if it just starts raining, really, to make it sort of like mush. It's going to make for some really interesting racing, I think.
Well, the track isn't really, it's muddy only if you go off the deep line, because it's starting to get ruddy, and it's just like riding on ice, you know, it's slick. It's terrible, really.
And what did the 125 series leader, Jean-Michel Bale, how did he feel about the mud?
In the mud, it's not a ride or it's a competition, it's a track. You have to ride between the track and you. And I hope to take a good start and ride very fast on the track and maybe win.
So we go now to round 4 of the 125 National Championship. And the riders have got to be looking at that mud and thinking, what am I doing here? Big crowd, 14th annual Mount Morris Motocross. But look at that mud. 125's on the line. Getting set to go. Number 1, Mike Kiedrowski, right there in the center of the lineup, the European starting gate. There they go, underway. It's imperative to get out in front and away from the mud to save those goggles. Into the first turn, it is Rodney Smith out in front. Smith gets a brilliant hole shot, goes out in front on a Suzuki. Jeff Emig is in second. Check that on a Kawasaki. Emig running in second spot. Moving up fast, number 22, Jean-Michel Bale. Now, Bale said, I'm not concerned too much about the mud, but look at the lead that Smith has got. He's got a lot of GP experience, and he is out in front. Denny Stevenson running at about 3rd. Guy Cooper behind him. Talon Boland behind. Oh, he gets wobbly. And that's Rodney Smith getting a little crazy out there. And down goes one rider as they try to go up the uphill. Look at the ruts developing early. Just practice is all we've had so far today, and the ruts are getting deep. Meanwhile, Rodney Smith out in front. Look at him, absolutely unscathed. No mud at all on this boy. That's the whole shot. Emig out of Independence, Missouri, running in second spot, closing on Smith. You know, a lot of folks like to come to a mud race and watch how the riders get through the mud because they know they got to do the same thing. There's 36, Emig. So they study the style. And a lot of these riders buy the Power Sports videos to study the riding style of their competitors. First and second with a big lead. On the gas here as Bale now starts to move up through the pack. There's Kiedrowski, Mike Kiedrowski, number 1. And he is running about 6th at this point. There's Bale, number 22, and Bale is starting to move up. Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. The skies are clear now. There is some high cloudiness, but the rain did the damage yesterday, and the track crew here has worked all night last night to try to make it raceable today. This is 125 action, and there is your leader. And you can tell he got the whole shot. He is literally unscathed with mud. Radical Rodney Smith out in front. Smith is a whole shot specialist. He has some GP experience, and that European experience made a big difference when he came back to the States to start racing the Nationals. Pressure put on by Emig, a young man from Independence, Missouri. in second spot. So it's Rodney Smith out in front, Jeff Emig right behind him. This is the lead in the first 125 moto of the day here at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Holbert Farm, High Point facility here, the racetrack. They've been running here for 14 years. It's a beautiful wooded area, very popular track. Oh, and there he goes down. Smith is down. Rodney Smith goes down. Emig goes out in front. And some riders getting past radical Rodney Smith. So it is Jeff Emig out in front. There's Kiedrowski, number 1, being chased by Bale, running around 4th spot at this point. 125 motocross action here at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Kiedrowski getting pressured a little bit by Bale. Now Bale is a real smart rider, 6'2½", a long, lanky young man from France who came over here and said, I'm going to do battle with the Americans on their home turf. And this kid is hot. Leading the 125 national championships for Honda. And remember that DeCoster, the 6-time world motocross champion, has been doing a lot of tutoring to Bale, working with him on how to ride against the Americans on their home turf. Almost 13,000 fans here today. Kiedrowski and Bale is measuring Kiedrowski at this point. The crowd cheering on their favorite riders. Mike Kiedrowski, a Team Green rider. Kawasaki in front of Bale. We've battled through this first 125 moto. It's number 36, Jeff Emig, the teenager from Grand Terrace, California, in front, being chased by a determined Jean-Michel Bale. Bale now living in Redondo Beach, originally from France. And look at the crowd cheer on, but I don't know how long Emig can hold off. Bale, that's it right there. Bale goes around, Emig goes wide, and Bale goes around. And there is number 1, Kiedrowski, moving back into about 4th spot. But right now it is Bale sailing away to the lead with Emig just trying to keep him within sight. Jean-Michel Bale, the Frenchman, riding a very, very intelligent race the first part, stalking the riders, picking them off one by one. Bale does not have a wild, out-of-control style, but if you study him, you can learn a lot about how to ride a track and ride it intelligently. So Bale coming into traffic momentarily here at Mount Morris, but he is out in front and completely in control. Emig in 2nd spot. In the waning laps of this 125 National Championship motocross. Let's look again at the pass. Now watch, it's a classic pass by Bale. Emig goes wide, loses his line, and Bale goes by him like a snake oil salesman in the night. Bale's jersey and number plate showing the effects of a poor start. He got sprayed with mud earlier, and there's the lead as Bale extends it on the factory CR 125 Honda. The mud, not that much of a factor now on most of the track. It's been packed down by the other riders. And thank goodness it didn't rain, because the AMA says you'll race in the rain. There's the uphill with a little lip right in the middle. Bale, a beautiful little jump. Emig might be getting tired. He's just a teenager out of California. Jeff Emig, the Kawasaki KX125. Jean-Michel Bale, and there is number 36. Emig in 2nd spot on the Kawasaki. Emig looks tired. The strong point of the Europeans has always been conditioning. And Bale is no exception. He is a dedicated physical fanatic. Jean-Michel Bale heading for a checkered flag here to pad his lead in this 125 National Championship points run. Emig running in 2nd. as we head toward the white flag, and Bale would like to see it, although he looks like he's pretty fresh. Talon Volan, Kawasaki running in third. And Mike Kiedrowski trying to move up. He's running in fourth at this point. There's Kiedrowski, number 1. Kiedrowski out of Canyon Country, California, the factory Honda, formerly on a Kawasaki, with his old teammate Matasevich. And Matasevich running back in about 7th or 8th spot at this point. That's a big surprise for number 20, Matasevich, who is at this point leading the Supercross standings, the Chicken Man. There's Kiedrowski. Kiedrowski at this point running in 4th spot in the waning moments of his first 125 National Moto. Look at that track. It looks like a World War I battlefield. The mud, the blood, and the beer here at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Larry Huffman calling the action, and we can't say much about the racing with Bale so far out in front. There's second place, number 36, Jeff Emig. There is Kiedrowski right after Talon Volan as they get into traffic. And the mud makes it a hassle to call this race. Larry Myers and I have talked about that before. When these riders get muddy, it's almost impossible to tell who's out in front. And there have been instances of mechanics giving the pit signal to the wrong rider because they couldn't tell their rider's number when they came by. The AMA scorekeepers do an incredible job of keeping this thing under control. 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go for Bale. But you know, you got to look at him. He's not making mistakes. The feet are planted firmly on the pegs. Doesn't come off, doesn't wobble, goes through them, stands where he has to, sits where he wants to. This kid is in control. Bale in front, second place, there's Emig. But it is Jean-Michel Bale's race all the way. And he is going in the record books and might just win himself a national championship. Just turned 21 years old last month. 6'1". I said 6'2.5". Actually, he's 6'1", 155 pounds. Body fat percentage about 6%. Incredible shape. Honda said, let's bring this kid over and throw him into the 125 battleground. There's a local rider who is down. Stephen Herman. He's out of Edders, Pennsylvania. Watch the crash. Oh, it just washes out and sends him launching over the handlebars, and he bounces down the track like the Michelin Man. Stephen Herman, the B&B Yamaha of Camp Hill. Pro-Am rider out of Edders, Pennsylvania. That's it for him for this first moto. You got to go back to the years of Pierre Karsmakers and the Yamaha back in the 70s when Kenny Clark of the Yamaha brought over a dedicated European professional motocrosser and put him on what was then the first monoshock Yamaha, and he just kicked the butts of the Americans, but it spurred them on to start training like the Europeans. So Karsmakers did a tremendous favor for all the American riders because they said, holy Toledo, we got to train. Well, that's the same thing with Bale, although the Americans have certainly come a long way in training, but Bale in incredibly good physical shape. You want to learn how to ride mud? Watch this moto and watch Bale, and this kid is poetry in motion, 21 years old. Looking for the checkered flag. Uses those ruts, the berms, sticks those long, lanky legs out there and uses them as a support going around the turns. Look at the crowd. They're not cheering that much about Bale. I'd like to see an American win this, but they give him grudging respect. The heavily wooded area here at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Bale passing riders at will. Up the uphill, the little lip, little double jump there. And the right-hander at the top. Emig holding on to second spot. Volan holding on to third. And Kiedrowski holding on to fourth as they make their way around this track. But it is a relatively uneventful wrap-up to this first 125 moto here in Pennsylvania. And Jean-Michel Bale will pad that points lead in the 125 class. That is a lapped rider behind him as Bale takes the checkered flag. He's in no danger at all, so Bale takes it. Let's look at the finish. Bale notches a win, a big win. Jeff Emig holds on for second, Talon Volan third, and Michael Kiedrowski fourth. First Moto 125s. So the 250 riders who've been waiting in the wings, watching this battle in the 125 class, now take center stage. And one of the thoughts on their mind has got to be the mud. Look at how clean they are now. It ain't going to be that way in about another 30 seconds, folks. There's Ward, number 3, right in the middle. 29 years old, out of San Clemente, California. Originally from Scotland. He's been on the motocross scene for, 12, 13 years now. And before that, a mini-cycle rider. Here we go. First Moto 250s. The gate drops, and out in front, the young man from South Carolina, Larry Ward, on the factory Suzuki. Ward went around the outside, shot in front. O'Mara running second. That's number 17, Larry Ward in front. O'Mara second, Jeff Ward third. Suzuki's Tishner in fourth, and LaRocco, Bradshaw, and Stanton as they go out in front. Here's number 7, Doug Duboc on the Yamaha in the middle of the pack as they battle for position here, and that mud still a factor here at Mount Morris, but it is Ward, no relation to Jeff Ward, out in front. Larry Ward, number 17, as they go through the trees. And that's O'Mara running second, his teammate Ward, Jeff Ward, running third. This could be an interesting battle. You've got a young lion out in front, a teenager, Larry Ward, out in front, with 2 riders right behind him who are just about ready to end their careers, or O'Mara, who has said if he doesn't get a sponsorship, he is going to bail out after this year in second. There's O'Mara, number 9. Wardy, number 3 in third. Then looks like number 8 in fourth. That's Damon Bradshaw on the Yamaha. And Bradshaw, remember, was edged by Ward at the Meadowlands just a couple weeks before, and he's got a score to settle. He said that earlier. Let's keep an eye on Bradshaw, but right now we're going to watch this young man. Number 17 out of Society Hill, South Carolina. Larry Ward on the Suzuki. There is Jeff Ward, number 3 in third. And there is your first 3. Out in front, Larry Ward, then Johnny O'Mara, and Jeff Ward behind him. O'Mara and Ward both 29. That's considered old age in the world of professional motocross. And the battle for fourth behind them. But the crowd's attention is focused right here in front. Larry Ward, Johnny O'Mara, and also on the Kawasaki, Jeff Ward. Then Bradshaw trying to move up there, battling Tishner. Larry Ward, a young lion. He's only 20 years old, originally from Everett, Washington, now living in Society Hill, South Carolina. Running in front, another tall rider of the Mike Bell and more recently Jean-Michel Bale. Build, he's 6'2", 165 pounds. Ward switched from Honda to Suzuki this year. And there's Wardy, number 3. Running behind his teammate Johnny O'Mara. They trained together. O'Mara, we understand, came from a very, very big buck salary from Suzuki last year to more or less a bike, a mechanic, and a big, big guarantee if he could win this year. And so far, O'Mara has not done that well on the Kawasaki. And you could say O'Mara might just be losing interest in racing, and I don't blame him. He's been racing for a lot of years. Started out in the Mugen Honda back in the late 70s. Got to keep an eye on number 8, Damon Bradshaw, Charlotte, North Carolina. He is riding in the factory YZ250 Yamaha. Here's your leader, Larry Ward, Suzuki. Johnny O'Mara, number 9 in second spot. And there's Bradshaw right behind Ward in fourth. Ward is running third. And the crowd exhorting their riders to get on the gas and go for it. Again, Larry Ward just turned 20 years old. He is a relatively newcomer rider to the professional motocross ranks. And O'Mara and Ward are seasoned veterans. These guys have been around for a lot of years. And they're going to put the pressure on Ward in this first moto in the 250 class. Larry Huffman calling the action for Power Sports Video. 12,500 fans here at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. 14th annual running of this national motocross. That's Damon Bradshaw, blue jersey, running in fourth. Bradshaw could still be a factor, remember now. He is running fourth, but gaining on the first three. Larry Ward, Johnny O'Mara, Jeff Ward, Damon Bradshaw. And that's what the crowd is watching here today. As I said earlier, a deluge yesterday. They poured water on this track. Rain all day long. They worked all night long to try to make this track rideable. Somebody said it was so wet yesterday and rained so hard, the animals were lining up 2 by 2. Tremendous ruts developing now. This is only the first moto in the 250 class, but they're up to their hubs in ruts on some of the turns. Larry Ward in front. Johnny O'Mara second and Jeff Ward in third. And Damon Bradshaw still a factor. Don't count Bradshaw out. He is running in fourth. Coming into traffic, always dangerous, especially when you're dealing with the less experienced riders with the triple-digit jerseys. And look at this, Ward has passed Johnny O'Mara, and Ward has gone into the lead. I don't believe this. Out of our sight, Ward passed both O'Mara and Larry Ward, and he is out in front. Well, we've got a whole new ball game here, ladies and gentlemen, as Jeff Ward, one of the smartest riders ever to throw a leg over a motocross bike, has taken over the lead. Wobbling a little bit, but looks smooth as a mayonnaise sandwich. There's Johnny O'Mara in second, Ward third, but look at Damon Bradshaw, the blue jersey on the factory YZ250, moving up into fourth spot, but right behind Larry Ward. Jeff Ward, originally born in Scotland. His father, Jack Ward, was a trials champion, a national trials champion in Scotland. Ward came over when he was 4 years old in the United States. They settled in Southern California, and Jack Ward tutored Jeff Ward and got him on a mini bike at about age 7. And look at this. He's a favorite here at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Jeff Ward, the crowd cheering him on. And here's Bradshaw, number 8, YZ250. Bradshaw is running fourth, right behind Larry Ward. Yamaha, the glory days of the 70s when they dominated Supercross and Motocross, now they're starting to come back. And Damon Bradshaw looking awfully good in both Supercross and 250 national championships. That's number 8, Damon Bradshaw, out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Again, the 6 foot, 155-pound stature. Mike Bell and the Black Glover, and now more modern times, John Michelle Bale, the same build. There's number 9, Johnny O'Mara. Number 10 now coming up, Mike Morocco on the Suzuki. But it is Ward in front. Jeff Ward, 29 years old, now living in a palatial mansion in San Clemente, California. A house so big it looks like a Holiday Inn. This guy is a millionaire from motocross and supercross. Kawasaki gambled on him several years ago and stayed with him, and he has repaid them in spades by selling an awful lot of green bikes. He's a very, very popular rider. About 5'7", built like a football linebacker. He's not anything like, well, Damon Bradshaw or even Larry Ward. He's about a half a foot shorter than them, but the guy's got a heart of a lion. There is number 1, and that is Jeff Stanton on the factory Honda. Stanton trying to move up through the pack. So far, Stanton has not been a factor here at Mount Morris. Jeff Ward leading. And Ward, look at this. All of a sudden, Bradshaw has put a pass on and is closing on. Is that Wardy? Yes. Bradshaw has gone to second, passing both Larry Ward and Johnny O'Mara. Ward will get a signal from his mechanic. And suddenly, Bradshaw, who, remember, was edged by Ward at the Meadowlands just a couple of weeks before at the Supercross, has got a score to settle, and he's closing on Ward. Jeff Ward, Kawasaki, Damon Bradshaw, Yamaha, and Bradshaw 9 years younger than Wardy. And look at the crowd, wave them on. They'll pick their favorites and cheer on the one they want to win. Wardy on a lightning fast KX 250, but Damon Bradshaw on an equally fast and maybe even a little faster Yamaha YZ 250. Coming into lap riders, Wardy takes an outside line, and right behind him is Damon Bradshaw. Bradshaw about 6 bike lengths behind. The crowd starting to come alive here at Mount Morris, as Wardy knows that Bradshaw is closing. But Wardy is in incredibly good physical shape. He can squat 350 pounds, tremendous thigh muscles, and he's got to have it to wrestle this KX 250 around this very demanding track. Bradshaw coming on him like the angel of death in second spot. The first 250 moto. And Wardy's going to have to use all his talent to stay in front of this young man. The crowd coming alive, cheering him on. Bradshaw from Charlotte, North Carolina, Ward from Southern California. And Bradshaw is closing on Ward. Forget the rest of the race, ladies and gentlemen. This is a battle you've paid to see. Jeff Ward, 29 years old, 5'7", 135 pounds of muscle. Damon Bradshaw, 6 foot tall, 155 pounds of sinewy strength. Two different riding styles, two different physiques. Wardy's had a lot of injuries in his career, and you got to wonder how long Roy Turner, the Kawasaki race manager, will keep him on. Well, as long as Wardy can do this, he'll keep him racing. I don't think any rider has ridden longer for one factory than Jeff Ward. How many years has he been with Kawasaki? Used to ride a Honda mini bike back in the 70s. When I was announcing at Costa Mesa Speedway, Ward would come out on the mini bike race at halftime. I got a great picture of him and my then 7-year-old daughter as she was the trophy girl and gave him the trophy. And you will not find a more serious rider about motocross and supercross than young Jeffrey Ward. Now opening up a lead over Bradshaw. Jeff Ward looking for that checkered flag. He's got to be getting tired. Jeff Stanton moving into third, LaRocco into fourth, but the battle is for the lead. This is a lapped rider. Stanton is running third, Mike LaRocco fourth as they get into traffic. Ward doesn't look that badly covered with mud. He got a fairly good shot running in the top 4 at the start. Did not get sprayed with that lethal Mount Morris mud. Stanton did. Look at Stanton on the Honda. He got covered with mud. Bad start for Stanton. He's moved himself up to about 4th spot at this point. Get the tied out mother. We're going to be washing jerseys tonight. White flag, 1 lap to go, and now Damon Bradshaw comes on, and the crowd cheers him on. They want him to get Ward. But Ward is tough to pass. Damon Bradshaw on the gas. Are we going to see a reenactment of the Meadowlands when Ward nipped him for the final? Bradshaw's going to try to reel in Ward, and the crowd's going crazy. The checkered flag about to come out. Can Jeff Ward hold off Bradshaw? The crowd standing, cheering. The final lap in Mount Morris, the first 250 moto. And Stanton running 4th behind LaRocco. Stanton not a factor here defending that 250 championship. It is Ward and Bradshaw going at it hammer and tong in front. There's Bradshaw, number 8. The checkered flag about to come out, and Bradshaw, it looks like, will not be able to pull off a miracle. Will not be able to nail Ward as Ward did it to him in New Jersey. And here's Jeff Stanton, who's gone into 3rd ahead of LaRocco, but it's too little too late. There is no chance of Stanton to catch Damon Bradshaw and Wardy. Oh, Wardy wobbling there and wobbling badly, almost going down. You know he's getting tired. He's got to be getting tired. And Damon Bradshaw on him like a Krishna on an airport traveler. But it looks like Wardy has just about got this one won if he doesn't wash out on the final couple of turns. There's the difference between first and second. And here comes the checkered flag. And ladies and gentlemen, Wardy is going to take it. But look, that's how close Bradshaw is. The final couple of turns here at Mount Morris. Jeff Ward going for the checkered flag. And there it is. And Wardy takes it. Bradshaw, he's mad. He kicks the ground. So Jeff Ward, with many years of experience, notches a win here at Mount Morris, and Damon Bradshaw goes to the pits to lick his wounds. Results, first moto. Wardy takes it, Bradshaw second, Jeff Stanton third, and Michael LaRocco on the Suzuki finishing in fourth spot. Let's find out what Ward thought about that particular moto and the battle with Bradshaw.
Jeff,
Ward.
congratulations on a good ride.
Oh, thanks a lot. Everything went pretty well. I think it got off third. I liked to get out front and got pulling away. I was getting held up just a little bit. But they made some mistakes, and Johnny let me go by, and I pulled that little lead, and all of a sudden I made some mistakes, and Bradshaw was right on me, and I got tight and had to hold on to it.
Race fans, let's give a nice round of applause to champion of Moto #1, rider number 3, the Superman on a Kawasaki, Jeff Ward.
Did I mention it was muddy here at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania? Well, it's still muddy, but the fans are not going home. Getting real overcast, though, and possibly a little more rain on the way as we line up for the start of the second 125 moto. John Michelle Bale blew away on the first one. Let's see what happens. Remember, Rodney Smith got the whole shot. Let's see if he can do it again. Down the line they go, these 8-liter rocket ships, and it is Smith around the outside. Radical Rodney Smith takes the lead. And it's Smith out in front. Matasevich, Emig, Bale, Kiedrowski, and Stevenson. But Radical Rodney Smith doing what he did in the first moto. And Bale running about fifth spot. Oh, that's Bale. And Bale goes down. John Michelle Bale, look at the crowd. They're cheering on that he crashed. They're telling him to get up. And Bale went down, and down hard. Looks like he just got outside the line and then went down, and he was down hard. But here is Bale back in the middle of the pack. I don't think he's got any chance of winning the second one and holding on the lead. Meanwhile, Rodney Smith, 135 in front, up the uphill. Radical Rodney Smith in front. And let's check. Let's look back again at the crash. Now watch the red bike. That's John Michelle Bale. He goes off the line. Look at that. Tries to ride it, bulldog it like a rodeo rider, and goes down harder than an Idaho thermometer in January. And Bale gets back up again. A lot of riders would have said, that's it, I'm done. But Bale is back in the fray. And Radical Rodney Smith is leading. And in second spot is number 36. And that's Jeff Ebing on the Kawasaki. It looks like a replay of heat number 1. Rodney Smith, can he keep it together? Led the first one. Remember, he's got the European GP experience. Trying to put it to good use here in the heartland of America, Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Looks like Smith is opening up the lead over Emig. And running right back there behind him. Well, by golly, we've got, let's see, moving up is Kiedrowski and Stevenson, and let's see, there's number 1, and that is Mike Kiedrowski. National champion, 125, running in the top 5. Look at the crowd, they're not going home, they want to see some racing. Got the 250 National Moto coming up next. This is the final, 125. Bale, there he is, number 22, dominated. And by golly, Bale is not backing off at all. He is mid-pack after starting almost last from that crash. Meanwhile, Emig, number 36, running second to Stevenson. There is Talon Volan, number 80, running in third. Now, Volan is only running in his 4th national today here at Mount Morris. He's getting some valuable experience. And there is Bale. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. John Michelle Bale moving up behind number 4, Guy Cooper. This could be a battle. Cooper, a tough little cookie out of Stillwater, Oklahoma, and Bale almost goes around him. Cooper running back about 4th spot, and I don't believe this. Bale is coming on. He got his bell rung hard when he went down earlier, but bounced right back up like a rubber ball and is back into this battle. Rodney Smith still in front. Jeff Emig running in second spot, but the crowd is watching Bale intently. He is setting the fastest lap times. Cooper, number 4, in second spot, in fourth spot. Bale, 22, has gone up to 5th. But Rodney Smith in front. Emig running second. 135, Radical Rodney Smith in front. The sky overcast, but the crowd not going home. Jeff Emig running in second spot. And there's Radical Rodney. Looking good. Jeff Emig staying right on his tail like a shadow. As we get into lap riders. 125 National Motocross Championship here at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. There is the battle between Guy Cooper and John Michel Bale. And again, you can learn a lot from watching the race and the professionals and how they do it. One thing you should remember is you saw Bale off the bike and comes back and now is in the top 5 in just a matter of a few laps. The track becoming a little more hard-packed now as the mud begins to dry up. There was some fear that it would be more rain today, but so far we've not seen it. So Smith in front, wobbling a little bit there. Could he be having problems with the bike? Jeff Emig, Kawasaki mounted in second. Down a long, long straightaway. Slightly downhill, a long straight down. Rodney Smith, Suzuki mounted in front. Jeff Emig in second. But look at Bale, number 22, all over the place, behind number 4, Cooper. And Bale, now Cooper was formerly on a Honda, now on a Suzuki. Rodney Smith in front. Then Emig running in second, and Talon Volan. Volan out of Sacramento, number 80, is running in third, and all alone in third. But you pays your money, you get your ticket, and watch the battle for fourth spot between number 4 right there on the Suzuki, Guy Cooper, and number 22, Bale on the Honda. And Bale is relentlessly tracking Cooper. He's looking for an opening, and you can bet he's going to be on it if there's a hole showing up. Rodney Smith in front. Then Emig running in second spot. Talon Volan in only his 4th national now, running in third. Cooper 4th and Bale 5th. And who would ever have expected Bale to fall down, start almost dead last, and fight his way back up to 5th? If he gets no higher, he deserves the accolades of the crowd. There's Bale, number 22, running in 5th at this point. The word from the mechanics is Rodney Smith may be losing air in the rear tire. Holy Toledo, if that's true, Smith has got 2 leads. He led the first moto in the second, and he's got some problems. Let's watch Smith. Number 135 out in front. Emig, Volan, Cooper, and right here Bale in the blood red leathers, the blood red Honda. That's 135. Does it look to you like his rear tire's flat? He's slowing down. Emig behind him. Yes, he's got problems. Oh, what a tough break for Rodney Smith. Emig, Volan, Cooper, Bale. And remember, Bale bailed earlier. '22 Bale. Stevenson, number 27, a shot a second ago, is trying to move up into the top 5. And look at this. That is Kiedrowski, your champion. Mike Kiedrowski right behind Bale, and he goes by. What the devil happens there? Apparently Bale lost his line, and Kiedrowski went around him, and you got to wonder if Bale is having effects from that crash earlier, if he's starting to weaken. Whoa, here's Smith. And there, Yes, he's got a flat rear tire. And that's number 80 now. Volan moving up. Talon Volan moving up, trying to pass Smith. Oh my goodness, what a terrible position for Smith to be in. Going over these jumps, he's got a flat rear tire, an almost flat rear tire. The bike is doing the hula, wobbling on the track, and no! Volan almost goes by him. Emig went down. We have the word that Emig went over a jump, hit his head on the handlebars, rung his bell, and has faded tremendously. Volan went from third to second, and he's closing on this young man, Rodney Smith. Look at Smith wobbling all over the track like a drunken sailor, a flat rear tire. And Volan knows that. He's watching him. Look at him. Smith is wobbling like a drunken sailor on a 3-day pass. He can't hold on, and there it is, the pass by Talon Volan. Volan riding in only his 4th national. It is leading some of the best riders in the world, and Smith fading fast now. And now the question is, can Volan, who does not have experience in nationals, can he hold on? The second moto. Volan trying to hold on to the lead. Cooper and Bale, the battle pulling him closer, and Smith cannot hope to stay under. There's Cooper and Bale, number 4 and 22 respectively. Talon Volan trying to hold on to this lead. And Cooper and Bale trying to move up on him. And Bale has passed Cooper. A beautiful pass by Bale. And moving up now on Talon Volan. The leader Volan. And Bale, can you believe this guy? Crashed in the first turn of the first lap. Went down. A lot of riders would have said, that's it, I'm through. Where's my plane ticket home? Bale got back up again, came back in the fray, starting almost last, and has worked his way up now to 2nd place and going after your leader, Volan. Rodney Smith, not a factor anymore. Flat rear tire, you can't race this race. There's your leader, Volan, out in front on a KX 125 Kawasaki, and there's Bale right behind him, and we've got a race, ladies and gentlemen. Number 80, Talon Volan in front, number 22, Bale in 2nd spot. Coming up on lap riders. There is Volan, and there is Bale, and the crowd is responding. Let's see how long Volan can hold him off. These are lap riders. These are not your leaders. They are about to be lapped in a moment. The action is happening right behind them between Talon Volan and number 22, Jean-Michel Bale. And we'll see him in just a moment. 125 motocross action, the second moto. There it is, right there, the knockdown drag-out battle between Bale and Volan. Bale, a seasoned veteran of the European wars, and Volan, Talon Volan from Sacramento, California. It was only his 4th national race. And look at this, the crowd cheering him on. Bale is stalking Volan now. And the question is, how long can Volan hang on? Well, right now he's pulling away from Bale. He's making a liar out of me. Talon Volan, youth and exuberance in front. The final laps of this Mount Morris, Pennsylvania 125 National Motocross Championship, and nobody's going home. What a fairy tale ending if Volan could win just this moto. Bale won the first moto, remember. Volan going wide, Bale to the inside. Here's a pass. Is he going to try it? A drag race up the hill. Talon Volan against Jean-Michel Bale in this 125 moto. Forget everybody else. This is the race right here. And the story, if Bale can pick him off, a fairy tale win after Bale bailed off early and got back up and came back up. Look at the crowd cheering him on. Bale there makes a mistake. Wobbles there around the right-hand turn. And he passes. A beautiful pass on the inside. A wide-open 5th gear pass where Volan was not expecting it. Let's take a look back at the crash. Now look at the rider. That's Bale in the infield. The inside trying to hold onto that bike, going off the track, and bam, down. Look at, they're counting him out on the left, the spectators. 1, 2, 3. They couldn't believe he got back up again. Like he'd been hit by Mike Tyson. And yet he's winning the race. Look at this. If Bale can hold on, he has a suite of both motos padding that lead in the 125 National Championship. And the Honda pits, Dave Arnold, the race manager, Roger DeCoster, they're absolutely going crazy at this point. You could not believe that this man would go down, get back up again, start almost dead last, and fight his way, clawing, scratching. He wins it. Incredible. John Michelle Bale wins overall the 125 National Motocross here at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. He's got to be exhausted. Ron Denny giving him the checkered flag, saying congratulations. Here's the final. John Michelle Bale, 2 wins. Talon Bolin, not bad for Bolin's second, Guy Cooper third. Buddy Antunez from Southern California fourth. Antunez came out of nowhere, finished fourth, not too bad. Now into moto number 2 for the 250 Nationals. Remember now, Ward won the first one. Let's see what happens now. Jeff Ward won it. Larry Ward got the whole shot. Lining up on a very muddy, slick track. And they rocket down these quarter-liter rocket ships. It is Suzuki's Larry Ward trying. No, Bradshaw took the inside line, and Damon Bradshaw, who chased Ward in the first, Jeff Ward in the first moto, goes out in front. It is Damon Bradshaw in front, Larry Ward running second. Jeff Ward looks to move into third. Yes, it's Jeff Ward in third. O'Meara and Stanton battling for fourth. Moto number 2, 250 National Championship, and here is Damon Bradshaw, number 8. Bradshaw, just 18 years old, out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Now remember, a week before Meadowlands, a little over a week before, he was winning the main event at the Giant Stadium Supercross, and Ward nipped him at the end. Jeff Ward won the first moto. Damon Bradshaw was second. It's Bradshaw in front, Larry Ward running second, and Jeff Ward third. And the battle for fourth between Stanton battling Johnny O'Meara for fourth. Bradshaw gets kicked in the rear as he goes over that jump. 18 years old, this kid, incredibly good physical shape, 6 feet tall, 155 pounds. He is trying to set a blistering pace early to pull away from the Wards in second, Larry in second, and Jeff in third. Look at the ruts. Look at the beating the bike is taking. And there is Jeff Ward has gone into second. So here is a reenactment of the first moto, but the roles are reversed. Bradshaw was chasing Jeff Ward the first moto, and now it's Wardy's turn to chase Bradshaw. Colorful crowd here today, lining the hills of Mount Morris, Pennsylvania's track, Mount Morris National. Jeff Ward stalking Damon Bradshaw in second, and that looks like Stanton, yes, the national champion, Stanton, Jeff Stanton, the Honda in third. Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Honda, 1, 2, 3. And Yamaha would like to see Bradshaw finish in front of Ward because then Bradshaw would take the overall. AMA sanctioned motocross at its best, ladies and gentlemen. The crowd cheering him on, picking a favorite, either Bradshaw or Ward, and cheering him on. Larry Huffman calling the action. Power Sports Video, exciting motocross action, and you're learning a lot if you want to watch these guys and watch the lines. There's Bradshaw, 18 years old, going up the uphill, the left-hander, then down the downhill. Wardy, one bike back, lapped rider between them. Always a problem. You're trying to go by a lap rider, can be a problem. There, Ward goes by him slicker than a mayonnaise sandwich. Blue flags all over the place. AMA's doing an excellent job. They really are, keeping these flagmen on their toes. Much stronger presence than the first moto. Boy, when you have a track as slick and as muddy as this, you got to keep those guys out there. The blue flags out to move the riders over when the lap rider, they're going to be lapped. The leading rider goes by him. That's Stanton, Jeff Stanton on the blood red Honda, running in third spot. Stanton can keep Ward in sight as they get into lapped riders, but he can't seem to reel him in. Wardy is determined to reel in this young man, number 8, Damon Bradshaw. Here's Wardy. Looks like he's been through a mud battle, and he has been in second spot. Bradshaw passed Larry Ward in the first lap, and he is relatively unscathed as far as mud is concerned, which makes the scorers very happy. Ron Denny, the referee, here today at Mount Morris. Larry Huffman on the microphone. And there's the difference between first and second, ladies and gentlemen. Damon Bradshaw and Jeff Ward. Bradshaw up on the berm, slams into it, goes around it. Ward, he looks around behind him. Ward back about 20 bike lengths. It is Yamaha against Kawasaki in the second and final 250 moto here today on a cloudy, overcast day. But so far, the rain has stayed away. Yesterday, it drowned Mount Morris, this track. But today, the rain has stayed away, and Wardy, all he has to do is pass Bradshaw, and he's got an overall victory today in the 250 National Championship. Remember, Ward is the only rider to win championships in all 5 classes. Actually, all 4 classes, I stand corrected. 125, 250, 500, and Supercross. There's your difference between first and second. Damon Bradshaw out of Charlotte, North Carolina in front. Jeff Ward out of San Clemente, California in second. Wardy drives a turbo Porsche, lives in a house that looks like the Holiday Inn in Southern California. The fruits of his championships, and he has always ridden for Kawasaki. Excluding a time that Wardy rode a little Honda mini bike when he was a 7 or 8 year old kid starting out in racing. He's 29 years old, has been racing for an incredible 22 years. Who else can say that, can claim that? Lapped riders, Wardy measuring methodically, doesn't want to be taken out by a lap rider as he goes around and goes after Damon Bradshaw. The question is, can Bradshaw withstand the pressure? Bradshaw's just a kid, 18 years old. Actually, he is not yet 18. His birthday is July 19th, almost 18 years old. Why is he 250? You think back to the glory years of Yamaha when Hanna was riding a Yamaha and decimating the competition back in the 70s, the late 70s, early 80s. And Bradshaw is kind of the great white hope of Yamaha right now, as he goes on and tries to notch a win in the record books here at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Look at the crowd cheer on Ward. He's a favorite, a nostalgic favorite of a lot of fans who've been around for a number of years. I don't know who this Damon Bradshaw is. But right now, he is riding cooler than a cucumber, making no mistakes at all. Coming into the lapped riders, there's your first and second. There's Bradshaw to the left and Wardy coming around to the right. And there's Stanton right behind Ward. Now, that's an interesting factor. Stanton's certainly a challenge to Ward, and he seems to be moving up a little bit on the second place Jeff Ward. Damon Bradshaw, number 8, picking his way methodically through traffic. You tangle a clutch lever or a handlebar and you're on your head, as we saw Bale going down in that 250 moto, but Bale got up and won. So far, Bradshaw has not had any problems at all. Goes way to the outside, slammed into the berm. And there's Ward, number 3 in second, and Stanton running in third, not in our picture yet. Power Sports Video action coverage, ladies and gentlemen, of the Mount Morris National Championship. Round 4 in this 250 national title for 1990. Damon Bradshaw, no problems at all so far. Wardy keeping him within sight, and Stanton in third. Mike LaRocco running in fourth, and Larry Ward running in fifth. Ward got just a little bit of a hole shot on Bradshaw in the beginning, but Bradshaw held on, and Larry Ward faded. Wardy is Jeff Ward's nickname. They are no relation. They come from different parts of the country. Bradshaw, as most motocrossers do, loves to jet ski. These guys are competitive. And as I've said before, don't ever offer to take him to lunch. You'll have to get a loan from the Federal Bank Board to pay for. These guys put a lot of calories away because they are in incredibly good physical shape. Bradshaw likes to jet ski, water ski, and likes to hunt in his native Charlotte, North Carolina. Wardy, on the other hand, likes to drive his Porsche and work out. And mountain bike. See a lot of the riders, especially the older riders, when their knees start going, they turn to mountain biking, and they're very competitive. Mike Bell, one of the national figures in mountain bike racing now. He was a national Supercross champion back in '81. Well, not much happening, as you can tell from the reaction of the fans, as Bradshaw continues to hammer this Mount Morris track with that very fast YZ 250. And heading for the checkered flag. Olbert Farm, High Point Racetrack here in Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. You just watch his style and watch his lines around this track. Remember, it was virtually under about a foot of water yesterday. It's dried out a lot, and this is the final moto of the day. One thing you can say, no dust. There's Stanton in third. Stanton won the championship last year, but he's having a tough time this year. .250cc, about 214, 215 pounds, 220 pounds. Machines, quarter-liter rocket ships, putting out close to 50 horsepower. It was 10, 12 years ago. They were lucky to put out 38, 39 horsepower. Highly sophisticated suspension systems. Liquid-cooled 250, two strokes, all of them. AMA put a rule in 3 or 4 years ago. You had to ride production bikes. Before that, they were literally hand-built, $100,000, one-of-a-kind machines. And now they are virtually production bikes with some modifications added. Some riders hated that. Bob Hanna said, I don't want to ride a production bike. The people don't pay to see it, but they do pay, and they came out. Almost 13,000 fans here today to see virtually production machines, some minor modifications. And David Bradshaw, number 8, is out in front and heading for the checkered flag. And I don't think Wardy can reel him in. Oh, he just a little bit sideways, waves at the crowd. Look at this, showboating. You can always tell when a rider feels like he's got this thing wrapped up when he starts waving at the crowd. You don't see Ward waving at the crowd because Wardy still wants to win. But Bradshaw can showboat a little bit, and he deserves it. He's ridden a very smart race. After losing to Ward in the first moto and the week before at Meadowlands, losing by just an inch or two. There he is waving to the crowd. And Damon Bradshaw heading for the checkered flag, ladies and gentlemen, here at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. And there it is. And Bradshaw wins it, and wins overall, we might add, for Yamaha. Ron Denny gives him the checkered flag, and he takes a victory lap. So Damon Bradshaw wins the Mount Morris National 250 overall. Second spot, Wardy, and Wardy will take second overall. Stanton is third. Mike LaRocco on the Suzuki is fourth.
With Damon Bradshaw, the Yamaha champion, who's just taken top honors here in the 250cc championship at High Point. Congratulations, Damon.
Thanks a lot. It was a really good moto. I had to ride real hard. I was able to get a good start, unlike the first moto, and it's tough out there falling behind. The lapped riders, it's like they respect the guy in front, and after that, they really don't matter. But I'd like to thank AMA. They did a big difference from the first moto. There was blue flags everywhere out there, and it really helped the racing a lot better, I think. Thanks a lot to AMA. And I'd like to thank all the people that are out here. You really treated me well today. Thanks a lot.
Damon, a good ride here in Moto number 2. You took the whole shot. What were you thinking down there at the beginning of the first or the second moto?
Well, after I got the good start, I just wanted to ride, and until I started getting some pressure, I wanted to save the energy, and it did. I played good strategy that time. I think that's probably the best I've played this year so far, because I just saved my energy to the end, and when Wardy got there, I had enough left to get back away from him a little bit and get a little breathing room. It's like after I started going faster, everything started clicking better for me.
The Frenchman who just turned American comes to the American soils and takes a win here at High Point. I think that these people think you're a Pennsylvanian already.
Yeah, thank you for coming out, everybody, and we have not a good luck with the weather, but the track was very good, and everything was perfect. Thank you.
So as Honda and Yamaha share the victory stand, let's look at the standings in the 125 class after 4 rounds. Bale with 191 points, Cooper second with 164, Mike Kiedrowski third, 141 points.
Winner Damon Bradshaw by Miss Gear.
The 250 class, Jeff Stanton with 170 points, Jeff Ward 159, and number 3, Mike
Bale with 1990, 125.